So we are Facebook Living this here with comedian John Crist. And so if you want to chime in, that's great. We will take your questions towards the end of this thing. And if you're watching this going, oh, this is kind of weird, we're still doing a radio show. And so we're going to do segments, for the radio show.
Well, the only good thing about showing up on a radio show is that you don't have to dress up because no one's going to see you. But now you follow me with, Facebook
changed.
Live too. So now I look like I'm in sweatpants.
I think you look fine, actually,
Thanks,
except
man.
for the pants. Like, you're good. Like, from the waist up, you're beautiful.
Yeah, maybe they can just see from right there.
Yeah, we'll edit that in post.
How
It'll be fantastic.
How does this compare to when John Acuff comes in? Does he look better?
John Acuff, I'll tell you, is very put together, very metrosexual. Like he comes in, he's got his salt and pepper hair. I'm describing him too much.
Yeah. We've talked about this before, but there's too much of a bromance going on there.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I get it. I get it.
You would too. Like,
for sure.
If you listen back
funny.
through all the episodes of you, he could just be like, "Hey, Wally," you're like,
he's very funny though.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you follow somebody on the internet, like it gives you the misunderstanding that you're best friends with.
Right.
So like there's people I follow like, oh dude, so if I saw him in the airport, I'm talking about like an author, like oh dude, what's up, man, how's your daughter? Like, it was crazy last week when you were in traffic, and he's like, bro.
Yeah, I've never met you.
And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot the internet. It does that thing where you think, oh, my bad. Okay.
Yeah, and it gets creepy quick.
Yeah.
Like, I had that situation with Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I interviewed him once years ago, and I thought that I knew him. And I'm usually really good about that. And so I started to follow him into a men's room in the Atlanta airport to ask him a question.
To check in.
It seems normal, right?
No, nothing wrong with that.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
And so I started to follow him in, but about halfway as I get to the thing, it dawns on me, I don't know him.
Oh, I can't do. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I shouldn't do that.
A conversation at the urinal? No, not a good idea.
I mean,
is that ever a good idea?
No, washing your hands is fine, but not while you're.
No, you got to look straight forward. You can't talk to anybody.
Speaking of man crushes, Nick is already chiming in on Facebook Live. He says, I have a man crush hardcore on John Crist.
Oh,
finally, this show might actually be funny.
Oh,
it's like a double punch to Wally's.
Love this guy.
Yeah.
I welcome all man crushes.
Yeah.
Do
you? That's a thing.
All of them.
It drives me nuts. My wife and her best friend, like, our two couple families are friends. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you have couple friends.
I phrased that weird. But our families are friends. So there's the two of them and the two of us. And so every time he and I go to do anything, like hang out or, whatever, they start going, bromance. It's so annoying.
Which is like the girls hang out all the time.
Yes.
And then first of all, the women made you guys be friends.
Exactly.
Thank you. See, because the couple friendships are never guy to guy. They're the girls love each other, and they're like, guys, go in the garage and talk about sports and tools.
Yes.
You're like, I don't know. Do we have anything else? Nah, just, hey, what's up, dude? Sports? Yeah, dude, sports.
Exactly. Project Runway, and then they look at you and you go, oh, this ain't gonna work.
Because like church, like women's retreat. Oh, girl, let's go. We love it. We deserve this weekend. Men's retreat? No. Are you ever been on a men's retreat?
No, I avoid them like the plague.
Yeah, because why would you ever, like a guy, I was like, is there going to be girls there? And they're like, no. I was like, well, I'm not going.
I know. Why would I do this? Well, Zach had one time that was like, I forget what they called it, Zach, the man's retreat, or it was all about eating meat and carnivores.
It's like very, very like manly stuff. Like, dude, we're going to like arm wrestle and then like crawl through mud.
Yeah,
like,
and then shoot something. Something will die this weekend. Like, all right.
Shooting. Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is that on women's retreats, like we share like 4 to a hotel room, right? When Betty and I were on a trip, when we chose to be in a hotel room together, but guys, they'll put like the pillows in between.
No.
I think Zach actually had that situation.
He created a barrier once.
He did. He made a wall between. Was it Carlos?
No, I slept on the floor.
In a king bed.
He chose the floor in a third world country. He chose the floor.
Oh, much better.
I had over under on the sheet, so you don't. There's no skin touching.
Yes, dude. I went one step further. Me and an intern of ours that went to a radio conference with us. We had to share the same room, and there was just the one bed. And the first night I put the ironing board between us just to be safe, and that was not enough. The next night I made him sleep in the tub.
Well, it's always like you never really know the room setup until you get there, until you get into the room. So you guys both go in, and it's one, and you're like, oh.
Seriously? Oh, dude, I walked into one room, and it was in L.A., and it was like, do you guys know Ian Strager? He's like a designer, so it's a Strager hotel.
Yeah.
And
name drop. See how he did that?
I know. He does that all the time. You're just getting to know him.
Yeah.
Does he have salt and pepper hair?
Yes. I just thought I thought that I pictured him as a classy individual, Mr. John Crist.
There you go.
So the whole wall to the bathroom where the shower is glass, complete glass, looking right into the bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're sharing a room, and the first thing I did was take the mattress, the entire queen mattress, and shove it up against the wall.
Yeah, you can't do that up against the glass.
Yeah, that was the right response.
Yeah, in any situation.
But even like a married man and woman, that's still not like an attractive. Like,
no.
It seems like in like scenes in movies, not like movies, but like,
right.
You're like, oh, that's like a thing that would want to. There should be a glass for the shower. Then you're like, oh wait, no, there for sure should not.
No, because the toilet's in there.
Yeah,
Let's be honest, that's not necessary
at all. You're like, no, we're good.
I think it's too complicated to be a guy because y'all go to the theater and then you have to make sure that there's like a seat in between you.
Yeah,
yes.
You can't sit together.
Yeah,
if Becca and I went to a movie, we'd
hold
like,
hands.
hey,
Yeah, we'd hold
share
hands.
popcorn.
Okay, let me get your
A lot of crying.
thought on this, John. I had a friend of mine who actually was the guy that hired me here. I just moved up. We went to a movie, and we were thinking about like, okay, we'll get some snacks. What do you want to get? And movie theater stuff's so expensive.
For sure, yeah.
And this gut genius comes up with, well, we could just share a popcorn.
Nah, I
No.
can't share a pot. Or you're gonna need to get a cup and then dump it in.
Yeah.
No, because where is the popcorn gonna be situated?
It'd be between us. One of us is going to be holding it, and
On someone's lap.
Yes.
You're not going over the. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
And
No,
you
for
know
sure
there's
not
going to
doing
be hands
it.
hitting
Nah,
at
not
some
doing it.
point in time.
Let me wait. Do you get? Okay, you. Okay. No, I'm. Okay. Yeah.
You know,
no, I'm not
I'll
doing
just
that.
eat off the floor.
Yeah,
Whatever you
yeah.
drop, I'll eat. Like that's
Then
how
you
it
just-
feels like.
You're licking your fingers clean, putting them back in there.
Yeah.
No, we don't roll like
And
that.
it got worse though because it was freezing cold. I hadn't moved all my stuff up here yet. This is like 10 years ago. So we walk out of this after he wanted to share a popcorn. We walk out and he's like, man, you look cold. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of freezing here. He's like, you want my jacket? No,
no, I don't want your jacket.
Like seriously, Dave, do you think we're on a date? Like I'm
You
not.
want my jacket?
He's like the nicest guy in the world, but I literally think he thought we were on a date.
When would a guy ever accept that?
No.
From another guy? Yeah, actually, no, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Thanks.
This feels really good. Actually.
Yeah,
It
it's
smells
nice.
like you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, it's good. It's already warm too. Thanks. I won't even sit down after somebody. Like that's
Oh,
another gross thing.
I've got a good question from Facebook. Patrick wants to know: burning building, think fast. John Acuff or John Crist?
John Crist, because he's here.
Yeah, but I'm with John Acuff, so I mean.
I carry you
I don't know.
both.
Yeah.
Strong enough.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not actually.
No, you're not.
What does he have like a reoccurring segment, or he just come in all the time?
He did for a while,
Oh,
and then
now he's too cool for you.
well, no, the girls
Yeah.
like ruined it. Like,
Oh, what'd you guys do?
Okay, it's the truth. It's the truth. If you saw a guy and you were like, you want to impress him, you would laugh at everything he says, right?
Yeah.
I
Okay,
genuinely
that's
find
exactly
him funny.
What he does.
And
No,
then
I
what-
genuinely find
He
him
doesn't
funny.
say anything funny. That's the problem.
I'm finding
And then he called
Crist
him out.
funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Are these
and-
fake laughs?
No. Oh, that's not true at all.
Okay.
I like,
Truth comes out.
and I can be a tough laugh. Like
Yeah.
like I don't like if something's lame, I'm not gonna laugh at it. I genuinely find John Crist or
But-
John Acuff funny and
But listen,
John Crist.
well, what we need is as guys that we are funny in person in public, we got crowds of like people laughing at us. So we have to have this.
Right, you need
So
it in your
we
life.
You need the fake laugh.
Yes,
you-
I don't care if they're real or
insecure
fake.
people
I'm
need
very
the-
insecure. We need it.
Yes, it
Very
helps you
bad.
when you're doing what you do.
Yeah.
Like there are times, like back when we first started this show, we had Betty Rock was like an intern with us. Becca wasn't here yet,
Yep.
so it was predominantly Zach and I. And there were times where he wouldn't say anything
Right.
because it's hard to get a word in with me,
Right.
honestly. And so like he would laugh, but I knew it was working. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
it's like,
good.
oh, we're in. Yeah.
Yeah, you need that.
We need it. Yeah.
As a comedian, you definitely need
if
that.
I like doing a thing and then it's just like this,
Right.
I'm dead. I'm out.
Have
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you
Gotta
this:
work
Have you
hard.
ever been like heckled? Because you
Million
play.
times.
Have
Yeah,
you really?
yeah,
Okay, because
yeah.
you don't only just do Christian events, and so like getting heckled, it's kind of like a rap battle where you
Yeah.
got to go after that person and you go after them. I've seen some comedians that are brutal.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, they teach you if somebody comes at you with a knife, you got to come back with a knife.
Okay.
You can't drop an atomic bomb on them.
Okay.
You know, because what you want in all these situations is the crowd to be with you.
Right.
Mm.
So, let's say there's a woman who's like drunk and she's, oh yeah, hilarious, oh like this, and like going on and on and on. If after 10 minutes of that you go, hey, listen, you need to shut up.
Right.
The crowd is like, thank you. And they're all with me because they have wanted her to shut up too.
Right.
But if she's enjoying the show and says one thing, oh my God, me too, and you crush her,
right,
then the crowd is going to be like, we're with her.
You're the bad guy at that point.
I'm the bad guy.
Right.
So yeah, we did a show in Indiana like 2 weeks ago, and I did this joke about. It's not even a joke about Donald Trump. It's just references.
Oh boy, I love these. I love this playing field.
You should see our inboxes.
Yeah. All I said was, I say, I can't stand children's art in the airports.
Right.
Like, you land in like France, Germany, it's like the Mona Lisa. You know what I'm saying? The Sistine Chapel. You land in Nashville, it's like Dylan, age 6, paints a giraffe. I'm like, we got to get this out of here. Like, why? This wouldn't even make the fridge at home. Why is this in? Like, some people have realized their dreams of coming to America, work their entire lives, land, and they're like, what? Never mind.
I might go home. Yeah.
And then the joke is, I go, so like, the guy lands in America. He goes, what is your country run by a child? I go, no. Well, that's the joke. It doesn't take a side. It just says like. Either side you're on, you could say that some of the things he has done has appeared childish.
There are some people.
Everyone can agree with that.
Nope. There's some. No, you should be able to. But there are some people that listen to this show and email me quite often that can't ever give that. They're so diehard that they can't allow for any bit of, maybe he's done some dumb things, said some dumb things. But they're like, this is God's man.
And,
like, seriously?
And further than that, I mean, you can just say Donald Trump is president. Well, you didn't refer to him as President Donald Trump. Why aren't you giving him the respect?
Yeah, you can't win.
I had a lady on the other side of the argument who was mad at me because of who knows what. But she would not refer to him as the president or his name. She referred to him as 45. So I guess our 45th president. She kept saying 45.
In support or against?
I don't even know. It was such a convoluted email.
Well, the thing about what people don't understand about stand-up comedy is probably similar to what you do. Like when I make a video that or something in stand-up, I'll give you a perfect example. We have a joke about I could do this little Bible quiz at the beginning of my show. I was like, I'm going to say a Bible verse. If you recognize it, you finish it. So I say, I can do all things through Christ who gives me
strength.
Yeah, see that, and I go, thank you. Last week somebody said money. And then everybody laughs. I go, what do you go to Joel Osteen's church?
See, that's funny though.
Okay, but let's break that down. So anyway, I did that joke in Houston at a church that he planted, and the pastor was like, dude, if Joel Osteen knew you told that joke, he would think that's hilarious.
Yeah, but everyone gets offended for him. Yes. That's the problem.
And if like, let's say Joel Osteen is the most humble, selfless guy, which he could be. If I made a joke about that, no one would get that joke,
right?
Because that joke is not it's referencing what people think about Joel Osteen.
Right.
It's not about Joel Osteen. It's about, so if you made a joke about the truth of Wally, but if no one knew that,
right, it doesn't match the public persona.
Yeah, so I can't just say whatever I want. People say you can stand up comedy, you can just free speech, you can say whatever you want. No, but we need the laughter and to connect with the crowd. So if I say something that's off base or not true, everybody's just like, what?
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's a tough thing, man. Like, I'm surprised that people like laughed at that at the church, because a lot of times people won't. They have a hair trigger sensitivity to things like that.
And they're like you said, they're not. No one would come up after the show and said that offends me.
Right.
But you can't talk about them like that, or that whatever group or race or denomination or whatever. But like the victim of the joke is dying laughing.
Right.
They were like, that's funny.
Oh, I have people all the time that get offended for like an artist that I've had on the show, and I've literally had emails that said, "I pray for artists when they come on your show because I just know what you're gonna do." I'm like, I'm friends with them all.
These are all like that. You saw that when we did the Christian radio, we were a record deal and we tried to sign the Christian band.
I love that one.
Everyone's like, dude, you like went after all those bands. We probably went after 20 bands.
Yeah,
but we heard literally every single one.
The revolving,
either text or emailed, like, dude, this is the funniest thing we ever seen.
Well, some of them were sharing it too.
Yeah, they were like, just like something about Sanctus Real or something. Like, I was like, we could sell this song to Sanctus Real right now. And they shared it. We're like, dude, for sure buying this song.
Yeah, because like Matt has a really good sense of humor. Yeah, you know, and
great sense of humor. Yeah, so it's like we had a joke about a band that was not. We filmed it, and people go, dude, who is this band? And so the band wasn't big enough famous enough to roast, so we had to
Right.
take them out.
Yeah.
That is a put down more than like being in it. Like somebody had a joke the other day. It wasn't a Christian. It was a comedian, and the caption was like, "Christian comics be like ...
Mhm.
And there was like Shonda Pierce, Mark Lowry, Tim Hawkins, and we were like, "At least I'm not a Catholic. What's the deal with Baptists?" And I was like, "Man,
Yeah.
I do that, but that's funny."
Yeah.
Like if people were crushing me. I was like, "But you got to have a good sense of humor about these type of things. Otherwise, I mean, can you imagine just going around all day with,
Well, that brings up a good point. There's a whole lot I want to get to with you about the inner workings of the mind of a comic too. And so we're gonna break you down, and I hope have an Oprah moment where
Is
you
there no
cry.
commercials in this show?"
No, not on this part.
Yeah, I was like,
I gotta
"We'll be
tell
right
you-
back. We've been here 20 minutes."
I gotta tell you, we haven't even gotten to the questions yet. Like
I
this
was
is like
thinking that.
this
I was like-
legitimately was the preamble.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, just a warm up. This is just a warm up. Okay, got it.
You just opened for yourself.
Yeah, okay.
So nicely done.
Congratulations.
All right, so here we go. All right.
Fine, yeah.
You ready? This is the Wally Show, and today we're joined with comedian John Crist, and I'm very excited to have you on the show with us today because I messed up and blew you off last time. We were supposed to have you on a long
Very
time
hurtful.
ago.
Yeah, very hurtful.
I know you haven't recovered,
Yeah.
but I appreciate your grace.
Yeah.
But I double booked, and so thank you for being on the show.
Can you
with us.
just who did you book?
A
Who-
golf ball?
Okay, great. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll take second.
Yeah, he
for
wasn't
that.
going to say that. I'm
Yeah.
glad you asked, though.
It's
Yeah.
hurtful, a little hurtful.
Yeah, I had a golf tournament.
One
I
time
apologize.
we had a couple weeks ago. We had a show, and it was like Joplin, Missouri, and it wasn't selling tickets. There was like, dude, we're not moving tickets. I don't know what the deal is. My agent messages me like, hey, they actually hired a minion to come dress up and come do autographs with you, and also now the show is sold out. I'm like,
Oh.
You're like, you want to be mad, but you can't be.
I was like, well, okay.
The minions are the key. We should get a
I
minion.
can't
Why
compete
am I?
with a minion.
Why am I not interviewing a minion right
I don't
now?
know.
Dadgummit, this is doing nothing
Should
for
have
our
double
show.
booked again.
I know. Dadgummit. All right, so we got John Crist with us. Let's start with the name first of all. Coming up as a not John.
Yeah.
Crist is coming up as a Christian comedian in this world where people can be slightly judgmental about everything that you're going to talk
who?
about. I know,
I
weird.
haven't met him.
Like, was anybody like John Crist? What do you think you are, Christ? Like,
Well, that's my real name.
I know,
So,
but you
yeah,
should
I
have
don't know.
changed it.
Yeah, well, I guess it'd be the more ironic part is my middle name, and this is actually true. I'll show some.
Is it
where
with
should
an
I show
H?
The camera. I'll show
Yeah,
the
let's show the camera. Is it with an H?
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to give away my driver's license. I'll just show you.
Okay, hold it up.
Oh.
Oh, when Betty goes, oh, what is this middle
No,
name?
I never joke about it because no one would believe it. But my middle name is Barack.
No, what?
Yes, it
No.
is.
Why?
There's no
That's
way.
a Bible name. He's a minor prophet.
I have a friend named Barrick, but he pronounces it Barrick, not
Yeah.
Barack. What, seriously?
Yeah, that's my middle name.
But did it come from somewhere or?
I don't know the Bible.
The Bible, you just
The
said.
judgment coming from
Yes.
this side.
Really?
Like,
That's insane.
Wally laughs too much. Well, I'd rather that. Than
Yeah,
this side. So, okay, yeah. Let's get down to facts.
That is crazy, man.
I used
So-
to be like, I mean, this is a long time ago. I'd be like, my middle name's Barack. Difference is I got a birth certificate to prove it. Like, I mean, it was a real stupid, like, hacky.
Do you
just-
ever get bummed though, like when something can't be a joke anymore? Like you've had a joke in your set for a while, and then like Barack's out of the news.
Yeah,
And, you're
or
like,
it's, but I mean, we got plenty more material now. But
with what?
yeah, I mean, well, yeah, no, good point. Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to field emails all day? I know I certainly don't.
I'm staying out. I'm just going to
Oh,
blend
It
into
was
this wall.
like sometimes things happen that are like, I mean, a lot of comics are like, man, this would be like, I mean, look what's happened in Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
It's
oh
like
yeah.
total like rejuvenation.
For sure, and
Yeah.
they need that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let me ask you this though. We're talking to John Crist. Do you have a favorite joke that you have to read the room and decide whether or not you're going to tell it beforehand? Like when you get there, like you're like, okay, I know this is going to be polarizing, and I feel the audience feels good.
Yeah. Well, there's usually like a bit. There's like a topic, and then you can keep. You're like, just like, do you have all your set planned? Or like, I'm up there for like an hour and a half. No, of course I don't have it planned or
Right.
memorized or like going to my robot. But I was like, I do have like 3 hours of material that I can like pick
Pull
and
from.
choose. Like if they like this, that we'll try this. If they don't like this, we'll go. So like a joke about like a kid with a peanut allergy is like hilarious in Texas, but like you're gonna get like picketed in Portland.
Yeah, that's
You know
the thing.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're like,
You have to know the lay of the land. I'm curious about like one of yours, the baby names bit. Like,
Yeah.
I actually have a little bit of that. Let's play that because this is really funny.
So I just think if you're gonna name your kid a weird name, name him something racially neutral. You know what I'm saying? You don't give away the race of the baby before you meet him. It's gonna cause the kid problems later in life. Just hear me out, okay? Everybody tense up, okay? Just calm down.
Where is this?
What's that?
Where is this?
Where is he going?
I
with
don't know.
this
It's
one?
from
I'm
your
not sure.
website.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, if you got one spot left on the basketball team and your two choices are DeAndre and Caleb, Caleb ain't making that squad. Racially neutral name. Like, if you're setting me up on a blind date and my two choices are like Esmeralda and Amber, who do you think I'm going with? Wrong, Esmeralda. Ambers are always crazy. Ambers are always... Everybody knows a white girl named Amber that's crazy, okay? The name gives it away. You know what I'm saying? My name's John. And I asked my parents, why'd you name me John? They said, it's a Bible name. It's a Bible name. We thought if we named you a Bible name, maybe you'd be a good kid. No. Parents, listen up, very important. Just because you name a kid a Bible name doesn't mean he's going to be a good kid, okay? I'm not positive. Again, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure in 6th grade a kid named Jesus stole my bike.
I'm telegraphing the laugh on that. That's so funny, but man, I'm telling you, like with everyone being so oversensitive to everything about race, like I can't see telling that joke at a church.
For sure would tell that joke. At a
Would you?
church,
Good for you.
100%.
I'm proud of you.
Well, okay, here's
because
what
it's funny.
It's funny and it's true. And here's what happens. Here's what happens is like we did I've been to like because in our faith, especially these days, churches are obsessed with diversity. Like we must like
Right.
this was never a thing until recently. And I speak at conferences where like every single speaker's like diversity. It's pretty much like minority speakers yelling at white people that they're doing it wrong, and we're like, oh yeah, I love it. Like, but like that, and we have panels discussing making jokes about it goes much farther to erasing racism. That you think a joke is it's not, it's just pointing out the differences of the races. And every time I tell that Jesus joke, white people will walk out, I can't believe you would say that. But every Mexican that walks out goes, yo, my name's Jesus, I got your bike in the trunk. Every time.
That's fantastic.
But think about why white people say you can't make that joke is because they are uncomfortable.
Right.
Because of their own racism. Like, you know who doesn't care? A Mexican. Never once. Never one time. It's like, I'm Mexican, that offends me. Never once. But white people who are uncomfortable with joking about that because of their own issues are saying you can't say that because it makes me uncomfortable. But the victim of the joke loves it.
Well, I love that joke. Like, and I don't know what that says about me, but that makes me laugh so hard.
I've tried a couple different. I'll go with Amber. I used to go.
Amber's
with, like,
great.
Crystal. I tried
Right.
a little bit. I tried an Amanda, but that didn't really. You have to figure out the one.
Oh yeah, that's the one. I think you're forgetting the Jesus part is really the payoff of that.
Also, I don't think it's right for you to be cracking up at your own jokes.
Yeah,
You're
you
like,
were.
laughing at yourself the whole
dying.
time. You can't do that.
Oh.
Wally does that all the
The
time. You can't
cynicism
do
over
that.
here, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's a tough room. I'm
Funny.
sorry.
Well, hey, you know I read an article from Bruce Springsteen. And they were interviewing about like what's his biggest song, like Born in the
USA, yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody like, dude,
No.
Born in the USA.
No. What's that motorcycle one?
Born to Ride.
Born to Ride. Yeah, it's like, have you?
Born to Ride.
They go asked him, dude, you've played Born to Ride literally thousands of times. Do you not get tired of it? He's like, it's not a repeat. It's more like a renewal.
Ah, okay.
And I like that because he's like, this song has been so good to me. It's like a child, and I'm sharing it with this new group of people on this new night. It's like, it's not like, oh, I got to do it again. He's like, like those jokes, I feel that about their like, we take a lot of ownership, and it's not like,
Yeah.
oh, I got it. Like if I didn't like the joke, I wouldn't now. I don't know where that was from. I don't know what You know, what is the caption on that? Is
I
it
don't
from-
remember. I
you don't
pulled it
know?
off of your website.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but I
Yeah.
was like, I do enjoy telling that joke.
And let's be honest, that's all you got in your life.
That's all I got, for
that's
sure.
it. You got
Look
the
at me, dude.
jokes.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Yeah.
That's why comics are very sensitive about stealing material.
Yeah.
Because there's no,
That's all you got.
like, if you're a home builder, you're like, well, here's the house I built. We don't have, like, you can't buy my business. It's just all in my brain. So we got nothing. We don't even have a computer or a mic, or there's nothing material. So when someone else steals a joke of yours, it's like there's nothing worse.
Oh yeah, I always talk
Nothing
about
worse.
that, like within this, like people stealing bits. It's the same
Yeah,
thing
same
because
thing.
it's like
Yeah.
that's all I have is my creativity, and that's what's gonna let me continue to do this
Yeah.
job. And if someone else steals it and waters it down,
Yeah.
then yeah, I protect that.
Maybe that's why they hate on your material, because they're, oh, it's so stupid. But at night they're going home to
They're writing it
they're
down.
crushing, and they're like telling their friends, like, oh, that's mine. You listen to the Wally Show? No. Okay, perfect.
Boy, do I have a joke for you.
I take notes all day.
All right, we got John Crist, comedian extraordinaire. I've added that to your list of titles.
Thank you. Yeah,
with us here on the Wally Show, and I want to do paper or plastic with you here within 15 minutes. You know, and get to know you and get inside your head a little bit quicker.
What is that?
You'll find out.
Okay.
It's not scary.
All right, so there we go. Now that's one segment. Here we go. I'm actually just enjoying. I could talk comedy stuff all day.
Me
like,
too. Yeah.
I love it.
They're asleep, but we can.
That's okay.
You don't know me.
This is the Wally Show, and we got comedian John Crist with us on the show. And I want to do my patented paper or plastic. This is where I can find out about somebody
That's
quickly.
for sure not patented by you.
Oh yeah, it
Okay,
is.
paper or plastic has
Yes.
been around for a long time.
No, it's mine.
He says he patented it. I was just at Walgreens and they asked me that. Could we sue them?
We could
This is
actually.
Wally's idea.
Which
This is Wally's
Walgreens? My lawyer needs to know. So basically, it's a way to break
Patented.
down you based on how you answer these questions. Like
Okay.
for example, Chili's or Chick-fil-A.
For sure, Chili's.
Okay, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Everyone
You're
else.
drinking out of a Chick-fil-A cup.
You hypocrite.
It's not open yet.
Yeah. So
Only-
why Chili's?
Only okay. This is what every time I go to, like, we always in different cities every night, right? Different. We're like, oh, look at this. Like, you're gonna love this local barbecue spot or this local, like. You know why it's local? Because it's not good. You know why Chili's is in every city in America? Because the chicken crispers are amazing.
They are the
They are
originals.
amazing, and the dip, it's like
The lava cake.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's unstoppable.
I ate at Chili's yesterday.
Yeah, why? They're like, if it was really that good, put it everywhere. You think the owner's like, you know what? I don't like money from. That's no, I don't like. Put it everywhere. If it's good, it's gonna be everywhere. That's what Chick-fil-A was local in Atlanta, and they were like, yo, you think people in Birmingham would like this? They're like, yeah, probably.
They like
And
the
now it's
chicken.
everywhere.
Yeah, I heard you actually performed at a Chili's back in the day.
Oh wow, you went deep.
I did
dude.
go
We
deep
went
on you.
Deep. Yeah, that was one of my first shows.
I do my homework.
Yeah.
So you actually performed at a Chili's? Like how? There's no way that went over well.
No, horrible. Horrible. Well, the thing about comedy is you can't really do it. You gotta start, like, when you first time, like, the Zanies is the comedy club here in Nashville. We performed there many times. We just at open mic, you start out, the first time you ever do it, you get 90 seconds.
Oh, what?
Oh.
The first time you
Oh.
ever do it.
You gotta own that then.
Yeah, you got to come out. Well, I mean, but if you think about all those people who are in it's Tuesday open mic night. If you're not good, they don't want you. You know what I'm saying? It's like even 90 seconds is a long time. If
Yeah.
you're not good.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, you start out there, and then they build you. So there's no way to get. Now we can do shows, but at the beginning where you can't. It was open mic night because Chili's did, like, sometimes they do trivia, and then they'll do like a music open mic, and some Chili's manager was like, you know what we need? Comedy
Yes.
open mic.
Yeah, that's why people are trying to eat dinner.
I know this is on, like, the radio, so you can't see, but here's people's, like, body language watching.
I just want to eat my crispers. Would you shut that guy up?
And
You know?
yeah, why is he
How
here?
dare he?
And
Did
I
you get a free meal out of it?
Well, I won
Oh.
the, like, cheese sticks or something like
You
that.
had
The
to
winner.
win, you had
Yeah.
to win your, not
The
even
winner.
a meal, an
Nah, cheese
appetizer.
appetizer. That was what the winner, like, based on applause. You're like, what about this guy? And I was like, and I was like, do I win? I think I win.
It's a fried mozzarella.
But I
It
said
is.
the first joke I ever said. I go, in the summer my skin gets kind of dark, and people ask me what race I am, and the best way to describe it is I'm not white. I'm more like wheat.
Oh, okay.
And it was dead silent.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I was coming in hot. I thought
Yeah.
I was real confident.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, dude, this is gonna kill.
My white or wheat joke, it's gonna
Yeah.
own it.
And then I go, well, my dad's white, my mom's 9 grain. It's very, and it was just like,
You're like just praying that a guy from like Wonder Bread is in the audience, you know? Like, I get it! Oh
I was
my
like,
gosh.
man, I got 75 seconds left. Okay. You see now like America's Got Talent or something, where you're like, oh, man.
Yeah, got one X.
This is, and you just let him go. Yeah.
We're doing paper and plastic with John
Patented.
Crist. Yeah, patented. Thank you for that, sir. Homeschool or high school?
For sure, homeschool.
Okay, so you were a homeschool
I
kid.
was homeschool, but then I went to high school.
Okay, like
So it's
the
homeschooled
last little
first to
bit.
What I don't recommend is homeschooled 1st to 8th grade and then high school, because that's what I did.
Yes, that doesn't seem to prepare you
go
well.
to 9th grade with your Abercrombie and Fish shirt or whatever.
Yeah, you'll fit in great.
It'll
And you
be
know
great.
what?
Yeah,
If
kids will
they're
love you.
teasing you, they're not your friends anyway.
Yeah, so what? You whittled your own pencils, okay? Don't listen to them. Don't do that.
Let me see. Jimmy Fallon or Seth Meyers?
Oh, man. I had a show with Seth.
Did you really?
Yeah, he's the man. I do like it. Man, I
Tough
would say Fallon. I would say Fallon.
You're going to go Fallon? Yeah.
Why don't you ask Jimmy or someone else? They're both on the same network.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you want to go Jimmy or Kimmel? Fallon or Kimmel?
I like those other two guys. Like, I think they're closer. You know?
The funny thing about when I worked with Seth Meyers is like when a really, really famous person comes in here, not like me, I'm talking about like a real famous, you're like, you try to think about questions to ask, or when you see it. So I saw Seth was in the green room, and I was like, so like, he always talks about his dog, and I was like, so like, how's your dog? And he was like, good. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you're like, you should know better. That shtick. I don't own a dog.
Stupid. Like, dude, he's like, it's at home with my wife. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get going. Thanks.
I thought we were gonna have a comedy moment.
I don't know why. I was like, comedians, we're together.
Oh,
No,
that's
okay.
funny. Class clown or head of the class?
Head of the class.
Okay.
Wait, are you talking about was I or
You,
which do I support?
No, which were you?
Wait, so all these questions, I thought they were which do I
They're
like?
open to interpretation.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
How is this confusing? There's two choices.
Because you said Chick-fil-A or Chili's, like which one?
Yeah, what you like?
And now this is you saying which one am
Are
I?
you? Which one were you? Were you?
No, dude. See, this is.
Is there a flaw in my logic?
Yeah, very.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you're asking which one am I?
Yes,
We should
I
check
am.
that patent.
Okay, yeah, check the patent. Ask it again.
Class clown or now I've already forgotten. Head of the
Head
class.
of the class. I was head of the class. I was the president.
Were you
I was
really?
vice president.
So
actually.
like, were you
Yeah.
like a straight A student too?
No, I wasn't that. But I was
Okay.
just like, the funny thing is like where I was just like chill with everybody. Like a lot of you'll notice is about. I'm talking to the girls here
Okay.
about funny guys.
Like
so
us.
like us. So we were always cutting up, right? You weren't like
right.
we didn't have great grades. Probably.
Didn't have girlfriends.
Didn't have girlfriends, but everyone loved you. I bet.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I was on the fringe of every group. Like
yeah,
every
you were
group.
cool with everybody, and
Exactly.
so it's like something happened, like you missed a homework, or like you knew how to talk to people. So you were like, hey, listen, Mr. Jones, like I'm gonna get it tomorrow. Like I'm cool. Like everyone, we got in trouble, but we were cool. We knew how to talk to people. We know how to get around. I did like the tours of the school, but I was still like cutting. And there's these guys that are like nerd guys who are like 4.0 bookworms, and they were like, be more like him. Be more like him. You need to be more like him. And that guy now. The guy that everyone told me that I should be more like it now works at Target.
Oh, really?
No offense to anyone that works at Target.
Yeah. That brings up my next question.
Yeah.
Target or Home Depot? You see how this works? I legitimately
That's
have
the
that
patent.
written
It's coming
down.
back together. Yeah, there you go.
And the
Yeah.
reason I have
Yeah.
that written down is because Christians ate them both. And
Wait, we do?
Oh yeah. Oh, anytime I talk
It's
about
hard to keep track, but
yeah,
yes.
anytime I talk about Home Depot, people get mad because they support something. I'm like, but I need a wrench, you
Oh,
know, like,
goodness,
and same
dude.
with
Yeah.
Target. Like, you know about the bathroom situation? I'm like, I
Oh.
don't know. I don't care.
Well, so what like if you own like a Honda, and like the Honda CEO, it like gets in trouble for something. Are you selling your Honda?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Like,
That's
at what point does the leadership of like if you like my comedy, do you have to endorse everything I do in my personal life? I probably not. I hope not.
no. There's no way we could.
Yeah, no way you could. Yeah, so like to what extent does like I know somebody is like they have these like stock market investments that are like morally like God lined. They're like, if you
Really?
support like if you have a stock in like CVS, well they also sell birth control. So I was
Right.
like, okay, that's like a 4 steps away from like am I endorsing? You know what I'm saying?
Right, because you want to get a good deal on Funyuns and a
Yeah.
Coke when you're headed to the beach.
And so, but where is that money going to support Planned
Right.
Parenthood? You're like, well, I mean, you would have to be in a woods naked to not support anything.
Right.
By driving on the road, you're supporting the government of Tennessee.
Which we all know is backwards.
Or I don't know. Yeah, but you support everything by doing everything. So to what extent?
People get very.
I didn't know they were mad at Home Depot.
Oh, yeah. I can tell you everybody that Christians are mad at.
Because you get the emails.
Yeah, because I get them emails all day.
Yeah.
Because that's what, we talk for a living. And so, 4 hours a day, you're on here talking about stuff.
Yeah,
and you ended up.
Things come up.
Yeah, things do. And
that was
people
crazy
get mad.
that yesterday you were telling everybody how much you loved Beauty and the Beast. And
Yeah,
how it's a great movie.
yes. Especially
weird.
the ending.
Oh, you don't want me to talk about that part?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No.
You're like, I love it. It's so perfect. Yeah,
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Because here's the thing. I'll get emails about that, and I didn't do anything.
Yeah, like, what? I didn't even know that was a. Yeah.
Hey, I'm just gonna be funny and walk out of your life, and then all of a sudden, like I'm stuck with emails all day from people hating me. Thanks for that. I appreciate you, John Crist. Yeah. We're gonna talk about something that you did that I found very funny. And you called yourself on it, and we'll do that within 15 minutes right here with John Crist on The Wally Show. Do I still have that audio?
I have to continually refresh
Yes.
this to get it. I don't know what's wrong with
Mine seems to be doing fine.
Is that delayed?
There's a
Just a
smidge of a
little bit.
delay, yeah.
How far?
About a second,
Maybe a couple seconds.
half.
You gotta wait. Right?
I know, but
But he's trying to
Not
see
doing
himself.
It's about
It's
to.
more of a delay.
It's about to. Hold on.
You're talking. Is there
Oh,
a delay?
maybe it is more of a delay.
What if I do this?
Oh,
that's like
What if I do that?
Wow, that's a really
over
big
here.
delay.
it still's not doing the wave.
I'm doing a
There it is.
voiceover
Okay,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Oh.
that's a bigger delay than
That's
we've
like
ever
a-
had.
Hey, are you switching it? Yes, sir. Oh man.
What is he switching?
the camera.
Oh, the camera. Oh, yeah.
Cameras. Where's the other one?
It's just one camera.
Really?
Yeah, if you do podcast stuff, like that's the camera to get for
Get
that.
out of here. We gotta
It
talk.
can actually do
Yeah.
it on its own too. So we
Really?
actually don't need him. So
Wow.
How many is there? In it?
just keeps showing up.
No, but how many? Is that one and this one? That one and the two? How many shots?
I have 3 today.
Go to the other ones.
There's Becca. And
Okay.
Buddy.
He's directing.
That's all on that.
Yeah, it's all on that. It
This
zooms in on
changes
it.
My life, dude.
It's a $400 camera. That's the crazy
That is
thing.
unbelievable.
Yeah, for doing stuff like this, it's
Game over.
it's
I'm
awesome.
gonna take a photo of that before we leave.
All right, here we go. This is the Wally Show, and we got John Crist on with us, comedian John Crist. Do people ever go funny man John Crist? Because you've done a bunch of radio interviews,
Yeah.
and it's tough to be a comedian because I think everybody wants you to come in and like start doing jokes and be like crazy funny.
Yeah, well, see, I tell everybody in the crew, like, whenever we're like at a restaurant or like in an Uber, they're, what are you guys doing? Just say we're unemployed.
Yeah,
Just say
exactly.
we're unemployed.
Don't say you're a comic.
It's not gonna go anywhere good.
Yeah.
And then if you're like, well, I'm work in entertainment, and like, what's the next question? Well, what?
Yeah.
Or that's like if I went to like if you go to a small college, you're like, I went to like a small college in Tennessee. You're like, well, what college?
Mhm.
But if the college was worth anything, you would say the name of it. You'd say, I went to UT.
UT, yeah.
So like, would you ever say, yeah, I work in like entertainment, or like I'm a writer? I tried that some. Like, well, what do you
write?
Yeah. So now I just say I'm unemployed.
Yeah, that's just so smart.
Yeah, I'm unemployed.
Because like I'll go like, oh, I'm in radio. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you do? What station?
Well, it's like and then.
Because I'm sure for you, it's like, oh, well, okay, well, tell me a joke. For me,
Yeah.
it's like, in each conversation, it's like, I don't want to hear this on the radio tomorrow.
Yeah, they're
I'm like,
nervous. You're like,
Yeah, it's
that's
not
what you
gonna
don't
be.
want. Yeah, because
'Cause-
we're for sure talk behind people's back.
Yeah.
So we want people to feel comfortable. Like,
so you had a conversation, ironically, in a car with somebody, and I love the fact that you called yourself out for it.
So I do this bit about how people are weak and we need like signs to get around everywhere and we're on the verge of death at all times. And I say, Lois and Clark crossed the Rocky Mountains in a horse and a cart. We can't even cross an intersection. Mike says to me just now, he goes, hey, you know that Lois and Clark bit? He goes, who's Lois and Clark? I was like, what? He goes, it's
Lewis. Lewis and Clark.
what? Of all the people that have come and supported my show, not one of y'all has been like, hey, John, yeah, you're saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, like, because you don't want to, I hate being corrected, but there's some things that you need to be
you
corrected
should probably
on.
have told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, it's like I have no one. They were like, and I posted all the comments like, dude, we thought it was like part of the bit. I was like, that's not even funny.
It's not funny.
It doesn't make sense.
How unfunny do you think I am?
Yeah, you know what I want to appear? Uneducated. That's what I want. Yeah.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to show how educated you are right
Oh,
now.
man, okay.
This is Lois and Clark or Lewis and Clark. Okay, it's a little quiz for you.
Oh, man.
So all you got to do is answer some questions here.
Okay.
Who was Lex Luthor constantly trying to thwart? That's hard to say. Lois and Clark or Lewis and Clark?
I'm trying to think of which one's which. That
It does get murky, doesn't it?
Lois.
Lois and Clark,
Yeah,
that's right.
Okay, come on.
That
Yeah,
was
I got
Superman. That
Yep.
was good. The other ones discovered things. True or false? Lewis and Clark discovered. They started what they discovered. They started their expedition of the Louisiana Purchase in Metropolis.
Lewis, yes.
False.
Lois?
They didn't
Oh,
start
I got the end. My bad. I didn't hear the end. Okay, you tricked
Yes,
me. That's a trick question.
yeah, that
He's like, don't get it wrong, don't get it wrong.
That was a trick que-
Not
that was
listening.
the most nervous I've seen him all morning.
This guy's an idiot. No, they started in St. Louis actually, so that one was
Oh,
false.
yeah.
Let me see. Which tool would Jimmy Olsen would be more likely to use? A compass or a camera?
What is that? I'm supposed to answer Lewis or Lois?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Oh, okay. Lewis.
No, that's wrong again. You have no idea who Lewis and Clark is.
Lewis is
No.
the ones that Lewis and
Yes.
Clark, because I thought they were a married couple.
No.
Went across.
The Louisiana Purchase.
That was Lewis and Clark.
Yes,
Yeah.
Lois and Clark
Superman.
are Superman,
Yeah.
and Jimmy Olsen was a photographer for Lois and Clark.
Goodness, dude.
Yeah.
That was too. That was a couple of
I
layers
was
deep.
homeschooled,
He's still
you know, I
trying
don't
to
see
figure
these
out the
things.
Lewis and Lois.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
you're at your own disadvantage here. True or false? Lewis and Clark were commissioned by Colonel Dean Kane to survey the land from St. Louis
False.
to the Pacific Coast.
That
False?
was Lois.
Are you sure?
Dean Kane.
Dean Kane was played Superman. Nicely
Yeah,
done.
okay, I got
Good
you.
job.
Nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, whose real first name is Merriweather? Is it Lewis, Clark, or Lois?
I don't think it was Lois Lane.
Okay, but
So
does
the
she have
other one.
another name?
Oh,
Trying to help you.
no. Yes, yeah, she does, yeah.
Okay, you don't know me well. I'm not trying to help you at all. That is wrong. It is actually Lewis Merriweather Clark.
I'm failing this.
Or-
I'm failing this.
Yeah, so there you go.
I just learned yesterday the difference. This is now you're throwing this quiz on me. This is a little much at once.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to spring that on you. But you know what? You're going to walk out of here a better man.
feeling better.
Yeah.
That is true.
And speaking of feelings, I want to touch on something that you talked about one time that I picked up subtly, and I'm curious if you'll even discuss this
I'll
with
discuss
us.
it.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
All
I'll
right, so
discuss anything.
we got John Crist with us, and we're going to get deep here.
What if I said no?
Would you be done?
Okay,
You're like,
yeah.
well,
See ya.
that was fun having
It's
John
just-
Crist on,
it's
wasn't
just
it?
10 minutes of dead air.
Yeah,
I hated
yes.
what it's like. We had a planned out segment, and he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, so we're just going to mime things.
I mean,
so-
I might jump around it and not actually address it, but I'll talk about it.
All right, well, let's see.
Depends on what you
Let's see
wanna
how it
ask.
goes. All right,
Yeah.
we'll do that within 15 here on the Wally Show. All right, and finally, here we
No,
go.
you're fine.
This is the Wally Show, and we have comedian John Crist with us here on the show. And again, thank you for coming in and spending so much time with us. I've had a really good time.
I've had a good time too. I don't know if the girls have.
They don't like us.
Yeah.
Seriously, we're trying to do our jobs. and
I'm
feel
used to giving
comments.
Wally a hard time. It's
Yeah.
hard to turn that switch off.
Is it,
Yeah.
do people know the difference in their voices?
Yeah, because one sounds like a banjo, and
Not it.
Sound like a banjo?
I don't know what y'all are talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
There it is.
There
There it is.
Okay, I got it.
I will
He
mark
calls
that
it- he
down as a
calls us-
possible promo.
He calls us Betta and Becky all the time,
Oh, there
which
you
is
go.
not.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause
so
he's old
hard.
and he
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
They're very their names are very similar. They're
And-
very different people.
And you should be
And they're wearing the
flattered.
same color.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
next. You should be flattered that we're not cutting in. It means we think you're funny and you carry the
Oh,
bit.
is that how it
and,
works?
You know, we're
Yeah, I
doing our
guess.
thing.
I was a little insecure they weren't saying anything.
No,
So
that's
that's how
good.
it works.
Do you want to start
Yeah.
like heckling you?
I mean, no, just kidding.
Boo!
No,
I will
Wow.
mention
A
one thing.
miracle to
Okay,
get them to be
since
quiet.
Since you're asking for comments from us, I want to ask because I have noticed this. I went to your Nashville show, and you do.
When you and Wally came, right?
Wally didn't.
I
come.
didn't make it. I
Oh,
know.
okay.
I didn't make it. I'm
Okay,
bummed.
cool.
So
He was with John Aco.
yes, that's right. So you have a different voice when you do comedy.
Oh, people
and then
always
when
say
you're
that.
when you're just normal,
Yeah.
you're speaking normal, but you always do also, and I take offense to this.
Uh-oh.
Your girl voice is more like,
Oh yeah.
OMG, we're just
Oh, you
the
guys.
best. Yeah, exactly. we
You're
don't all
offended by
talk
that?
like that.
You're offended by that?
I don't like
Yeah.
it when you talk like that.
Yeah.
It's funny.
so
It's
offensive.
like,
Oh,
namaste
dear.
in bed.
Well, wait, you laugh when Jimmy Fallon does the ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love Jimmy
Ew.
Fallon. He's
Oh,
the best.
okay.
now we
Yeah,
got
we
to
Now
it.
we're
Fallon.
heckling.
It was Sarah with no H.
There we go.
Sarah would know.
Have you seen that skit?
Yeah, of course.
It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Are
Ew.
you? I'm just curious. Are you single?
Yeah.
Okay, because I got an email like working
Uh-oh.
this out to have you. Oh no, to have you on the show
Oh, yeah.
from somebody named Emma Crist.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if you were married or like.
Well, we're dating, but
nope.
she like.
That's your sister, right?
Well, no, that's my girlfriend. But we're like,
Oh.
we're just gonna try out the last name just to see if it works.
Oh
for a
no.
little-
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No,
You got me
that's
for a
sure-
second.
yeah.
Awkward.
That's for sure my sister. It's
Okay.
funny because she she's been like she's like manages all the shows and everything and sets this stuff up. So like one time we did a show it was a Valentine's Day show in Columbus, and the pastor comes out to introduce me. He goes, "You're gonna love the show. I've been talking with his wife for like 4 months, setting this up. She's the nicest, and they're like their ministry together. It's just like." And then I come out and I'm like, "Valentine's Day, what's up?" I was like, "Is there any single ladies in the house?"
And everybody thinks you're
yeah. And the girl in the back goes, "Hey," and I was like, "Oh, girl, what's up?" And then I was doing this whole thing, and which usually crushes.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, why are people thinking I'm evil?
And then I get off. He goes, "Oh, okay, I told you." That. I was like, "Dude,
yeah.
help me out a little bit, bro."
You're the worst wingman ever.
For sure.
So, okay, now are you dating anybody?
No.
Okay, because that's what are you dating Jesus?
Yeah, dating Jesus.
Okay,
yeah,
that's a
come on.
good thing. Yeah.
I have a bit about that.
Oh, you do?
You have a bit
I
about
haven't
that?
seen that.
Oh, I go, ladies, you gotta stop with the I'm dating Jesus talk. Like, Jesus is so far out of your league. I was like, he's multiplying bread and fish. You can't even cook toast. Like, imagine.
That's funny.
That's terrible.
I hadn't seen that. Okay,
but
so
it is like I tell people in all seriousness, like if like Louis Anderson is one of my favorite comics
love
of all
Louis.
time, and he goes, dude, comedy. Once you get like connected to it, like comedy is gonna be like your secret mistress, because like as he described it to me, which I totally get it, it's like your need for like love, attention, affirmation, to be known, to be heard,
Yeah.
and to be validated. All those things happen every night. Now, long term, that's not like the solution. Obviously, it's not.
well, because there's not a single healthy comic.
No,
like,
no.
There's not.
No.
Like and like for me, I spent so many years worried about getting happy. So I come from like mainstream radio and just jaded and angry. And I get here and I'm supposed to be this different person, and God's changed my life and my heart. But I'm afraid of being happy because the pain is what drives the humor.
Yeah.
And so I worry about that. But I had seen, and this is what I'm curious if you want to talk about it or not. I had seen, well, you have to now. I had listened to one of your bits, and you kind of threw away something really quick, and you're like, I'm in therapy. A therapist once said to me, and then you go, oh, that's another bit for another time.
Right.
So do you actually see a therapist?
100%.
Do you really?
100%.
Because I get it, because like I haven't done that, and I probably should.
Oh, no,
Oh
you're
yes,
fine.
definitely, 100%.
Definitely.
I haven't said anything the whole time. Oh, thank you.
Listen to this. Listen to this. I just started going to therapy this year, and you know what he tells me? He's like, "Oh, good, now you won't talk to me every morning when you get into the office."
Yes,
So
yes.
Yeah.
that was payback. That was not an attack.
That's funny,
And you
man.
just love to talk to people. So if Becca shares an office with him, so
Yeah.
if she goes to the bathroom or goes to heat up her
You go
lunch or
talk to
whatever,
friends, whatever.
he'll come walking down the hallway, being like, "Betty, what's going on?"
I need
He's
Yeah,
like
you
a
need something.
30-second limit
Yeah.
on being alone.
Yeah.
I just love how
30
quickly that turned on me. Oh
Yeah.
yes, John was nice. Like, no, you're fine.
I was thinking about yes. Thank you.
You don't know him.
I said I'll tell you one thing that we've been working on. So you make up like let's say a show. Let's say I email. We're trying to get on Conan right now. We're trying to get. A
Oh
spot
wow,
on
that'd be
Conan.
huge.
And we've been talking with their management. You send them a clip, and you don't hear back.
Right.
Like 1 day, 2 days. What? Like your heart, your soul. This is not going to be funny, but your heart and your soul wants like peace and tranquility and love, but your brain wants. So if you don't hear back, what am I thinking?
Yeah, well, you've got that he hates you.
He hates me.
Right.
You're
I'm
not funny.
I'm not funny.
You're
Right.
not good enough.
I'm not good enough.
You look terrible.
Okay. Well.
You have an odd smell that somehow transferred
Whoa.
through video.
and
You look
yeah.
Step further.
And it could be
Probably
like,
not going to amount to much.
It could be like it could be like they already have 3 white male comics this week, or
Right.
they book once a quarter, or there's a million different. But your brain first is gonna. So I did a show at a church, a big church. It like does a lot of comedy shows, and they book like 4 and 5 comics a month. And I did it a year ago, and I haven't been asked back.
Oh, that would mess you up too, because you're like, I
Yeah.
thought I killed.
But I thought I crushed that place harder than anybody. And so what does my brain start doing?
Yeah.
One of your jokes has probably crossed the line. You said something on Twitter, post that they were like, we want to distance ourselves from John. But then, so this is a year of me trying, and I'm talking to other comics. Hey, have you been asked back? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, and then like 2 weeks.
Comics are neurotic.
Insane. And then 2 weeks ago, I got an email like, hey, dude, we'd love to have you back. And I'm like, what a waste of like.
Yeah.
Worrying.
For a year.
Right.
And so like after sometimes my shows, I feel like they don't go well. They don't go as I want them to go.
Oh, I fully get that.
Yeah, so
but I have people dragging me down.
Yeah,
like,
all right.
No.
Yeah.
So you come out,
Zach?
So
Is
you
it
come
Zach?
out to the
Nope.
like merch table, and you're just constantly trashing your show. Hey, sorry about that. Yeah, next time will
Yeah.
be better. Hey, I don't know what happened. Off night. But they didn't think that.
Right. You start putting that out. Right.
Because my therapist said one time you thought you had an amazing show, and you were high from it, and somebody trashed it, and it brought you down so low that you want to defend. You don't want that ever happen again. So if you crush your show first,
Right.
no one can
Hurt you.
And so I go out to the merch table and project my own insecurities on every single person out there.
That's what people don't understand.
It's a story you're running in your head.
Dude, I get every bit of that. Like
Yeah.
I have this inflated ego persona, but that's like a protection device. Oh, this is deep. Like
getting
because
real, yeah.
but because it's real because I'm crazy insecure about wanting
Yeah.
people to think that I'm funny and like what
Yeah.
I do. And so that's how I mask that
Yeah.
or self-deprecation,
Yeah.
which is a big part of humor to
It's a
they can't hurt
it's a
you.
coping mechanism.
Yeah, 100%.
I got a joke in my act about how my car, like, I don't have any skills like as a man. Like my car was smoking the other day.
Well, that's where we're different. I kind of
Yeah.
rule.
What? Okay. My dad was working on my car in the garage. He goes, John, go get me the Phillips. I came back with the neighbors. I'm like, it's like, but
So
that,
then you go back and you come back with Carney Wilson
Yeah,
and,
like,
and
how are they
Wilson
gonna help
Phillips.
but so that joke is very, that's a real insecurity of mine
Yeah.
that I don't know how to do. Like if your car's, I'm not even gonna open that hood. I don't know what is in
Yeah.
there. But I got buddies and brothers that know how to do everything. But I love telling that joke because it's strangely therapeutic for me because I'm calling out an insecurity. Everybody laughs at it, is with me, and it feels better.
Yeah,
So
I get
it is a joke, but it's not a joke.
Yeah,
And this most of the stuff in my show, you didn't come, but
I know.
yeah, it's
Sorry.
not a joke. It's me trying to deal with my own. A lot of my bits, like my viral videos, are me trying to come to grips with my own things in the church. That the church, like I love Jesus, and I think the local church is our only hope.
Right.
But that being said, we
There's
do
some funny
weird
stuff.
man.
Yeah.
We do, and I'm like, man, I can't. And by making a joke about it, maybe bringing it to light, it's like everybody feels better about it. It's like, oh yeah, it's not like it's like making fun of your uncle that's in your family. Like he's weird, he smells weird. When we go out to lunch, he like flirts with the waiter. It's not to kick him out of the family. It's so when he does come, it's easier to cope with him.
Right.
So me with our faith. It's not to say we should leave Christianity. It's that this is all we got. This is who we are. You can kind of bring some issues to light. It helps people deal with it better.
Yeah, and you kind of kid around about it.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Well, and to help your ego a little bit, people on Facebook Live are saying that you should replace Wally on the show. So,
Yeah. He's
So
going
it's
That's
okay.
great.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
You're going to be okay.
I'm
It's
good for the day.
Really
Yeah.
important to build John up at my expense to
I can't
crush
do
me.
both. I can't
No,
do
Ah.
both.
John Acuff, not to go back to him, but he has that thing about the critics.
Critics math.
Yeah, about how, so like, there's thousands of people on like, it's literally been, my last video from last week is 10 million views, but the one person says, I don't think it's funny.
Yep.
You click on their profile.
Yep.
You go, you're like, oh, well, look at, and then you're like, and he said, if you're gonna respond to that one person, you need to first respond to the 1,000 people that said they love it.
And I can't. Like,
No,
I
you can't.
cannot do that. I get so focused on that one. Like,
Ah,
why?
yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Man, I actually should spend some time on the couch
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
and
man.
and you know what? I think that's healthy. And I think like you even talking about it because everyone mistakes the funny guy
Yeah.
as the healthy guy.
The opposite.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
he's so funny. He's so
Yeah.
light. No, there's a lot
He's
of
out-
stuff
yeah, there's a
going
lot
on.
in there.
And
Yeah.
you look at Robin Williams tortured. Not that you're gonna end up like that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, not funny. No,
Sad
but
day.
Ralphie May, he's
Yes.
one of the, he died last week.
Did he really?
Yep, he was so I work at the comedy club and
Yeah.
I've worked with him a couple times. He died of pneumonia, but what happened was he got as I've heard it, he got pneumonia, but he refused to cancel shows,
Wow.
and he literally died of stand-up comedy
Because he needed that in his life.
but I get it.
I do.
get it. Like you like me and Tim Hawkins have a bit about like he's like, dude, my kids don't know my name, but I got this new closer bit that's crushing.
Yes,
like it's a joke.
Yes, but
He's
it's
like,
not.
It's not. He's like, dude, just went to the doctor and they found a spot on my lung, but this new tag is killing.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
There's not. I say this in all seriousness. There's no. I've gone through a lot of like personal problems with my family and dealing with all kind of different issues and health issues and all. There's no problem that a hot stand-up comedy set is not solved for me in the short term. In the short term, I'm not saying you don't still go to bed lonely and you don't wake up in the morning and all that. But I had I was gonna like marry this girl. I thought I was gonna marry this girl, and she broke up with me. And this is a long time ago, but I had 3 shows that weekend. I was like, how on earth am I gonna do a comedy show? I'm dead. I can't even get out of bed. Yeah, and it felt so like I've always said in church and doing stand-up were the only 2 places that I've felt free from that pain.
That's crazy.
And so when people say, you got to quit, you got to get off the road, you're like,
I can't.
That's the only thing these comics have is that hour that sometimes is at the expense of the other 23 hours, but that hour up there is like, it's unbelievable.
Magic.
It's unbelievable.
That's where I think Becca, Betty, and Zach don't fully understand me because they always kid me about being a workaholic and how I won't miss a show.
Like, this is all I got.
Yeah, like I've passed kidney stones during the show on the air. Like I won't call in sick. I think I've called in sick 3 times in 10 years.
That one?
No, they didn't have it back then.
But he did post pictures of his pregnancy announcement or his birth announcement once the kidney stone passed. Of course.
Oh, but like I get it. Like I won't take a day off because A, I don't want to be replaced because there's that insecurity, and B, it's like
that's clearly been dealt with. She's told me
exactly.
Thanks for harping on that.
And then B, it's like that. This is where I'm happiest. Like this is where things come together. Even though there's things that drive me crazy about it, this is where I find my fulfillment.
And so you go back between you probably the same, you deal with these 2 people. There's the one guy that people email our website all the time, and I talked about it a little bit at the show. A lady came up to my merch table with 5 DVDs and she was crying, and she goes, hey, I got stage 4 cancer. For every minute of my day I think about this disease inside my body, but for that hour I felt free. And I'm taking these DVDs back to the hospital. So there's people that email you like, I've been going through a divorce or some kind of illness, but listening to your show has lifted my spirits.
Dude, that's the best. That's the best part of it because, like, people would think doing a Christian radio show that the God moments are the thing.
Or like
it's not.
It's just like you using the gift that God gave you.
Yeah.
But so there's that guy.
Yeah.
And then there's also the insecure, I don't want to be replaced. For me, it's like I do get a lot of attention from it. I just want to be this guy.
Right.
But there's also, attention from women, and there's like you're the celebrity.
Not a problem for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they're all. So
Wait, what do you mean? Yeah. Okay. Like he literally looked at me and went, "Yeah. Okay. I get that."
Yeah. I get that. No,
Welcome.
because you're married.
Welcome to this side.
Yeah. Thanks for at least throwing me that bone.
I get that. I get. Yeah. So there's 2 like I go to City Church in Los Angeles where Justin Bieber goes to church.
Oh, nice.
I'm not trying to name drop, but it's necessary for the story. So so my mom, I've told my mom, it's like, hey, Justin Bieber goes there. She's there like every week, sitting in the front row, just like he's in worship, just like a guy, right? And then my mom knows this, and she like texts me. She's like, hey, I saw this article about Justin Bieber with some girl or partying or something like that. He's like, I thought he goes to your church. I was like, yeah, you can be both.
Right,
you can be both people. You can be like this guy that is trying to be a good person, is trying to get his life in order, and also deals with some stuff.
Yeah.
You can't, but because that's such a Christian thing for my mom to say, because she's like, oh, I thought my pastor, and then a pastor has a scandal, right? Because we thought he was untouchable, but there are human beings. They're all human beings. You can't tell me a pastor, it doesn't feel good to be in front of that crowd, to be in charge.
There's a performance aspect of that
dude,
as well.
You're a human. You're a human.
Yeah.
And don't act like that's like don't act like I just like the Lord, like, or like but also you're human.
Yeah.
And more Twitter followers feels good.
Yeah.
And I don't care who you are.
Right.
You can't get like so. And so the show is called The Captive Thoughts Tour. It's just like all the thoughts that are in heads and all. And I said that I read a quote from Tim Keller. Said we don't become more spiritual by becoming less human.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
People think like I gotta
die to myself to be
you
more
can
like
still
God.
be a human being. Like you still like one of the jokes is You ever been like had an unchristian thought sneak into your head? Like you ever been driving down the road, you see that cyclist, you're like, I wonder if I just like.
Yes.
That's a human being thought, but as Christians, we're not allowed to be human anymore.
Right.
So we're like, oh, God just told me. Like
In my
I wish,
spirit, he told
I wish
me.
some of these like authors would be like when they release a new book, they're like, God told me to like. I wish they were like, you know what? I signed a 3-book deal with Zondervan. Here's the next one.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Like maybe,
Exactly.
maybe God told you,
But also you have to.
but also you have to, and also I'm gonna make a lot of money from
Yeah.
this.
Right.
So like I'm fine with pastors being rich. I'm fine with mega churches. I'm
Right.
fine with all of it. What I'm not fine is when people say, "Hey, God impressed on my heart to." Well,
This
Did
is this is the tough thing for me is we'll get music all the time sent to us
yeah, perfect.
by
yeah, yeah.
a lady that has a 70s hairdo and said the
Yeah.
Lord gave me this song
Yeah.
and everybody has to hear it and you listen to it and you're like there's no way God gave you this
Yeah,
because it
yeah.
stinks.
It said joyful noise, and this ain't that.
Yeah, so yeah, that would be a step up, you know. And so it's like so bad, and you want to be kind,
Yeah.
and so we started doing a bit where,
That's funny.
yeah, we started playing some of these things back, and the whole rule is you couldn't trash it.
You had to say
find,
something
You had to
nice.
find a creative way to say
hilarious,
something
dude.
nice.
We only did it on our podcast. We didn't test it on air. I
Well,
don't-
we
Yeah.
tried it on the air, and
That's
the
funny.
people on air aren't as funny as the people on the podcast because you couldn't take as much time with it.
Yeah,
and,
you can't. You got to. It was had to tighten it up.
Yeah,
in
and
the segment.
so
That's funny.
we just came off as jerks, kind of like
Yeah.
earlier we were
I
talking
see
about
that.
winning the
I could
room.
see that. Yeah,
but when
you
on
can see us coming
podcast,
across as jerks.
I
yeah.
could see that.
Not
Yeah,
all of us, right?
Everybody just trash this.
Yeah.
what?
yeah. Well,
You
dude,
don't know. That's about it. But I still, whenever I break up with a girl, I still tell them that God told me, so they can't argue.
Yes, exactly.
Obviously, you get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. God told me to break
I'd
up.
keep dating you, but the Lord. So, well, we got John, Crist. Thank you so much for spending time with us here on the show today, and like not only just laughing about stuff, but getting
Yeah.
a little bit serious too. That's kind of nice. I don't play too much in the deep end, and
Hey.
so it was nice to wade our toes in there
Well,
for a
you
little
know,
bit.
usually when I go to a city and you get there on like a Wednesday, you got to do radio promo for
Yeah.
the weekend. I probably all the radio stations are in the same building. With the time I spent here, I could have gone to like 7
I
radio
know,
stations.
I know.
This was the longest.
I know.
And no one said how long it was going to be.
No.
They just said, "Hey, come on in there." I'm 4.5 hours later.
I know. Well, you're
Still at Wally.
you're
dude.
just funny and you're riffing, and I'm like I'm enjoying the conversation. So just
And
hang
actually, I
out.
think it's kind of amazing to your credit because usually
This
when
has
you
never
get
happened.
when you
Never
get
happened.
serious, you have to end it with a joke.
Oh, it's a
True.
joke.
It's,
Uh-huh.
it up.
it's his
At
coping
someone else's
mechanism.
expense.
Like if a caller
I
calls
like how they
in
think I'm
and-
going to take y'all's side. Like I'm for sure on his side. I'm like, oh yeah, Wally, why would you ever do that? I'm like, what?
He was ugly. We're on our side.
I can't believe when Wally does just try with the jokes. I'm like, yeah, Wally, get
Tell
it
me
together.
about
To the comedian, exactly. All right, if there's any more Facebook stuff, we could take a couple of those and we'll get this guy out of
There
here.
haven't
'cause
been there haven't been a
he's-
crazy number of questions. It's mostly just loving what he does. I saw him in such and such. Love his such and
You
such
can
joke.
literally interrupt me at any time to say those.
There's lots
Yes.
of phrases.
Oh,
No.
by the way, another person loves you. Oh, yeah.
Did we not cover this earlier?
Thank you.
Oh, you don't want to hear this. You don't want to. Like, there's one lady in our company. God bless this lady. She does not send me any positive emails. She
None.
only sends me the people that hate me for some
When you
reason.
see it, you're like, oh, no.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you just sending me the people that hate me? Like, send me one. I
At
know
least-
you've gotten
at-
one.
You know the Oreo thing, when you're going to like send some criticism, you got to put it around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if she faked it, it'd be great.
Yeah, I don't care. Make one up.
My biggest nightmare is there's like info at John Crist Comedy email, and it goes to the website, and the girl that runs her website, the title is like feedback. Right? No,
No.
it's not. We love the show. It's not
Yes.
that. It's-
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
feedback.
I'm going to give you some feedback, and you can't
Oh,
turn
no.
this one down.
Uh-oh.
So while I was there, we were waiting for the show to
Feedback.
start.
Uh-huh.
You were not playing Christian music. How dare you?
Oh.
There
How
was
dare you,
Selena
sir?
Gomez
Yeah, Selena
being
Gomez.
played.
I
Yes.
think there was a Justin Bieber song or two. in
We
there.
don't know their hearts.
Yeah, we do not. No,
I had my children at that show. Do you know what just happened to them?
I like how sometimes I do like a. That'd be the same type of thing. Like we've like scoured those songs for like lyrics, that are, like,
Content, yeah,
appropriate
for
or,
sure.
Like,
Because you're not stupid.
Yeah, and like sometimes I do like a youth group. I perform like a youth group or something. The pastor goes, "Don't talk about this." Like, you don't think these kids
Right.
are 16 years old?
Right.
I'm on the same Instagram that they're on.
Right.
They for sure know more than you.
Yep.
You don't think people and it's like that's not like an endorsement And there's some Christian music in that playlist, but that is the funny that you've said that because we've had so much like pushback.
Oh
on,
yeah.
Like,
If
people don't like it?
Yeah,
Like
like the venues, like we're not playing this.
Oh.
Like,
We do like iPod roulette where we put our iPods on shuffle and see who has the cooler song come up, and then we debate
but
it.
it's all this fun stuff you guys do that you aren't doing now.
Yes.
The other days we do the super fun
Because
stuff.
you're the fun one.
We criticize other people's
Ego
music.
boost,
We play
ego
roulette. It's
boost.
amazing. What are these this party that's happening
We
when
love
I'm not
our
here?
dogs.
Yeah.
When you come in, we're gonna talk about therapy. On a normal day. On a normal day.
I hate to break it to you, this was an intervention, not an interview.
We were paid for
Can
this.
I go? The door's locked.
Yes. We've all written you a letter.
Feedback.
John, we
Okay,
love
yeah.
you. Oh, man. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up so he can get out of here. You've already spent way more time than I thought you were going to, and I'm very thankful for that. So thank you very much, John. Crist, everybody.
Hey, much love. Thank you guys for having me out.
Did you just boo him on the way